The room fell into silence when Dad's voice exploded like thunder. "You're the most useless child we have!" His words hit harder than a slap, and every eye in the room turned toward me. My heart was racing, my face burning, but for the first time, I wasn't going to just sit there quietly. Family gathering. It was supposed to be an ordinary dinner. Plates clinked, laughter echoed faintly, but underneath it all, I already felt the weight of being the outsider, the one always compared, always doubted. That night, Dad's voice carried more than anger. It carried years of disappointment he never hesitated to throw at me. Dad's outburst. He didn't just speak, he crushed. Every word stabbed deeper. Useless, worthless, nothing. The words hung in the air like poison, filling the room with shame that wasn't mine to carry anymore. Reaction. Everyone froze. My siblings stared at their plates. My mother's eyes glistened, but she stayed silent. Even relatives who often had something to say were quiet, waiting to see what I would do. The silence was louder than his shout. "Child, stand." My legs shook, but I stood. My voice cracked at first, but then it grew firm. I looked straight at him and said, "Then stop calling me useless. Stop treating me like I don't matter, because I do, and I won't let your words define who I am anymore." The room gasped, but for once I wasn't afraid. The air froze when Dad shouted, "You're the most useless child we have." His words sliced through me like a knife, and I could feel every heartbeat pounding louder than his voice. But in that painful moment, something inside me woke up. Flashback. Since childhood, I had lived in the shadow of expectations. I was compared to my siblings at every step. Someone was smarter, someone was stronger, someone was always better. No matter how much effort I put in, Dad's eyes never saw me. His approval felt like an impossible dream. Silent struggles. Behind my quiet face were nights of tears, pages of failed attempts, and endless thoughts of not being enough. Yet, even in silence, I never gave up. I worked harder, held on to hope, and promised myself that one day I would break free from this cage of words. So when he yelled that night, I didn't just hear anger. I heard years of pain, and I knew it was time to stop carrying it. The room fell silent. Dad's words, "You're the most useless child we have," echoed like thunder, but instead of breaking me, they lit a fire inside. I stood up, my hands shaking, yet my voice steady. "Then stop treating me like I don't exist," I said. For the first time, every eye in the room turned toward me, not with judgment, but with shock. Taking a stand. My whole life I had swallowed insults, kept my head down, and carried the weight of being unwanted. But in that moment, I realized silence was my biggest enemy. Speaking up wasn't just about defending myself. It was about reclaiming my worth. The power of voice. My words weren't loud, but they carried strength years in the making. I wasn't fighting to win an argument. I was fighting to be seen. That single stand was the beginning of my freedom, the point where I stopped begging for respect and started demanding it. Enough is enough. Those words ripped out of me before I even realized I was speaking. My father's insult still hung in the air, but I refused to let it crush me this time. Everyone stared, shocked, as if they had never seen me fight back. My chest was tight, my voice trembling, but I held my ground. Breaking free, I told him I was tired of being the family's punching bag, tired of carrying blame for everything that went wrong. My eyes burned, but I didn't look away. For the first time, I wasn't scared of his anger. A new beginning. That moment wasn't about winning anyone's approval. It was about choosing myself. I knew change wouldn't come overnight, but I also knew I couldn't go back to being silent. By standing up, I opened the door to a life where my worth wasn't defined by their words. The room was silent, yet the weight of his words kept echoing in my mind. "You're the most useless child we have." Everyone's eyes burned into me, waiting for me to crumble, but instead, I took a deep breath and forced myself to stay tall. My heart was pounding, but I was done being quiet. inner strength. I reminded myself that my value didn't come from his cruel words. I had faced struggles, worked hard, and carried burdens no one else even noticed. If he couldn't see that it was his blindness, not my failure. Finding my voice. I looked at every face in that room and said clearly, "Then stop treating me like I don't matter. I am not useless. I am stronger than you think." My voice didn't shake this time. It was steady, firm, and real. That moment changed everything. For once, the shame wasn't mine to carry. I had returned the weight of his words right back to him. And in doing so, I found my own power.